Is the child-free movement going too far? The video is done by Jan, 121k followers. And this guy, like, I believe he is. I haven't watched a lot of his content. If actually, I watched most of his clips, so I believe he's Asian, right? Thanks for watching. I love to hear what's the bigger threat. Overpopulation. Oh yeah, this is actually an interesting topic to discuss. Yeah, this is so gonna be good for my first reaction on for my YouTube channel. Well, I'm on off to it. I'm just gonna check out how it looks through my camera. I believe that in the next videos we're not going to have problems with it. Yeah, so I think I look fine. Yeah, I think we can go on.
Do you think you'll regret it if you never had kids?
No, I am not sure if I want this environment to my kids.
The idea of being pregnant just does not appeal to me.
If someone else is paying for the kids,
Not to mention easy access to birth control.
People are dying.
my bloodline ends with me.
Look at this shocking view at me. Like, why is this the first thing I stopped? Okay, so I just got confused. She got me confused. I wanted to say something smart and she got me confused. Ah, this is so confusing, so hard. How do live streamers stream 10 hours straight? I only streamed for 12 minutes. I'm already getting tired.
For the kids,
Not to mention easy access to birth control.
People are dying.
Yeah, what's people are dying? I just hope this is like taken out of context, because if it's like a super argument, then it's getting kind of weird to be watching it. Okay, I see we're getting more viewers right now. So type down in the chat whatever you think. I'm going to respond and I'm gonna try to be responsible for what I say. Okay, yeah, we got the view back. Let's just skip to the
America has
video.
declining birth rates. Why do you think this is happening? Because today there's two schools of thought.
The number of humans on Earth needs to go down, or it will be our downfall.
The planet.
Okay, so before we start into the video, I would like to point out my point of view. The thing is, I'm one of the pro-nature oppositioners, and if you think about it, I believe that overpopulation is bad, of course, because it's too much. You need to be stable, so you don't need to have like overpopulation, but you don't have to like forcibly stop it. And this is the problem. That, like, what I believe, can you actually control it by yourself? Or is it just a nature problem? Like, I would really like to hear your thoughts in the chat. Because, again, this is a super complicated point of view for me. Like, how do you, like, let's just listen to what they have to say. Maybe we're gonna get something from it.
Cannot support more people.
Can our planet even sustain nearly 8 billion now and 10?
This actually thing, okay, how do I skip 10 seconds back? I can't skip, oh my god, I can't skip 10 seconds back. Well, okay, what I wanted to point out is that TED, intro. Oh yeah, this website, Worldometer. What I love about it is that literally it never stops. I don't know how it works. Like, literally every second, if you think about it, our population grows, which means that, like, what, even if one person is born every day, let's just for instance count how many people is it gonna be. Yeah, I'm just gonna point out the calculator. So let's imagine a person gets born every second. Yeah, so you have 60 people per per minute in the world. You have, then what you get 360 per hour. Oh no, actually, oh my god, you get 3,600 per hour, which means you get 86,400 in a day. That in total gives you wait, what's this long number? I'm just gonna have to read it for a while. 31,536,000, and that's only if one person in a second, like every second, is born in the whole world. Okay, so I should be able, because I can see. Okay, yeah, now I think I look fine. And this is insane numbers if you think about it in the beginning. But if you think that 8 billion already are there, and let's even exclude the numbers of deaths, yeah? So let's take this number, yeah? 8, like which we see on the screen, 8027 380, 161. Oh my god, this is like I'm doing an iPad calculator, so don't go harsh on me because I can't understand it. Okay, yeah, I think now we're gonna go. No, 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 no. Okay, yeah. Now divide by how many did we get there? 31,536,000. Okay, I made a mistake here. 36,000. Yeah, it's so weird. I should have probably put the calculator on the computer. Sorry. And now the person's gone. Oh my god, I'm doing so bad. Yeah, so you have one person per 2,545. Well, if you think about countries like Iceland, for instance, where they have 300,000 population, that gives them in total, how many does it give them in total? I don't want to use the calculator again. Around 100. Like around 100 people per year. Okay, I think I just did some insane math that I would never. Let's just watch the video.
Sustain nearly 8 billion now and 10 billion by 2050.
How are we going to feed everybody, get water to everybody, provide power to everybody? How are we going to do this?
Or are we focusing on the wrong problem?
This is the most commonly misunderstood situation. What we face is population collapse.
The size of family shrinks precipitous, like both.
As I believe, also, which should be an important point, is that the human race grows more and more just because every day it still grows, but I believe it grows slower than it did in the past. If we especially take the baby boom period, but even after the baby boom, like the 80s, the 90s, it's growing less. So it's still growing, and that's why people are afraid of overpopulation. But what they don't see is that it grows slower. And the reason why you actually have this, as I believe, is because of developed countries. Yeah, I believe if you take USA, if you take most European countries, developed countries, you're gonna see that their population, even if it grows slower. It grows way slower than, for instance, in other less developed countries.
Below replacement. There's going to be a terrible shortage of young people.
And so are we headed towards decline and even worse, extinction? So I'm out here today and the question I'm asking is,
Okay, wait, guys. I mean, I am so sorry, but I need to really understand the word extinction. Yeah, I know you may judge me because like I sat down to understand this word, but I should probably put my Google Translate over here if I'm going to have problems with it. But as I said, the language should be practiced, and again, I hope it's just not a problem for you. I'm gonna be prepared next time, more serious. I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, now I understood. Now I understood this word. I need the water. Yeah, people who are watching this on YouTube. Just skip the seconds. We're not even through the first minute yet.
do you want kids?
I have kids, but if I didn't have a kid, I'd still want a kid. The only
Well, good answer. I like it.
way we're gonna survive is to embrace being human. Just because we can do something, it doesn't mean we should.
I already have kids.
Yeah, that's actually like true. This is true for so many stuff in our world that you just don't do. Even if you can do something, you still think, should you? And this raises a lot of questions through it.
Have you always wanted kids when you were growing up?
Yes.
Who do you want your kids to have kids?
If it's right for them.
By the time I'm 35, I'll be old enough to kind of start being more mature at that point.
Do you know how many kids you want?
Only one adopted, one natural kid.
Okay, one adopted, one natural kid always confused me, like, because I've never probably met people who had like one adopted, one natural, so it was hard to discuss with them. Like, what's the intention of adopting a kid and like giving natural birth? Like, why can't you just give birth to both or adopt both? Because it's two different processes, but what is in common between them is the hardness of it. It's a super long and super hard process of adoption, and the natural birth, that is also one thing to talk about.
That's birth. It's the first one I want to adopt to skip the first.
Like a trial run?
Yeah, trial run. Exactly.
What? Trial ground? Wait, did he just say? Did he just? I have to somehow fix YouTube so I can come back 10 seconds.
Return it if you don't.
Oh my godness. This is too complicated. YouTube points are so complicated for me. I should have learned how to first fix YouTube. Then I should have learned how to I do next. Is modern feminism hurting man? This is an interesting video. Maybe for the next stream. Yeah, I just checked the chat. Nothing there.
Don't like it?
100%.
Oh, I don't know. That's a lot of money that I wouldn't be spending on myself. I don't think I.
Yeah, that's super egotistic. I'm sorry. Like, do people only earn money to give it to themselves? This is also a question that I've always tackled with people with who I talk about money, because money is just a resource of not only giving, but it's the resource of everything. If you think about it, it's the resource of showing love. Yeah, you invest this money in something that shows love. You invest this money in something that helps you and helps the people you care, and it helps you in the perspective future. Like, also what you should always understand, the child-free movement, it sometimes forget about the perspective future in which they are gonna leave, because it's not even that okay, we're gonna die and then nothing, and then like we don't care. Although this is super weird because nobody can answer what will happen after they die, but yet a lot of people don't care. But still, even like in your 30s, 40s, I mean, imagine when you will go, like when you will stop going to work and you will have to earn, oh my god, what is this word again, so I won't screw it up, I'm just gonna Google it again. Yeah, pensions. So like where should the pensions come from? The pensions come from the children that actually work there, like that grow up, they start working, and those monies, those taxes, they go into your pensions. Well, you can talk about earning just enough to survive. Well, valid point, but not a one that you can actually move forward. Like, it's an exceptional point.
I'm equipped to raise a child through all the, that things I can hardly deal with myself. I like to go out a lot. I can only take care of one person.
You can only take care of one person, so well, okay, let's skip the next one.
I'm a musician, and so it's really hard for me to even think about caring for others at this time.
Wait, what? She's a musician, so it's hard for her to care?
About caring.
Yeah, wait. I should really fix this YouTube thing.
One person.
I'm a musician, and so it's really hard for me to even think about caring for others at this time.
Caring for... Okay, this is like a super complicated thing if it was an argument. It's hard to carry for others? Okay.
Eventually want to have kids at some age?
Maybe if someone else is paying for the kids.
But it's your kid.
I need to do some healing.
No. I mean, it's not necessarily like... I don't think she quite meant if someone's paying like the money and I just don't do anything. I mean, I can't like... this is too bad. Like he just put the highlight. I hope we're gonna get the longer interview later on, because technically, I mean, a woman needs someone who's gonna pay for the kid. At least for those 9 months that she's carrying them. I mean, she's going through a long process, but let's like, and she just can't combine a lot of stuff that will probably help her get money. So she needs someone to be ready to help her there, pay her there. But like, again, I'm just trying to defend everyone. Who knows? We're gonna listen forward.
Healing before I part any of those things I've gone through on another little human. It's not that I don't want kids. You know, I'm a 39-year-old woman, and at this point in my life, there's just... 39? I would give you younger, honestly. I would give younger. the work I need to do, and it's just not really maybe in my cards.
Do you feel more free not having kids?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can travel whenever I want. I can spend my money all on me.
In my like early 20s, I wanted kids really badly, but that was before I started having so much fun.
Yeah, like still, it sounds hard. I mean, life will never always be about fun. Life is not actually always about fun. Life is also by making the pain less painful, because you're never gonna run away from pain. It will always be somewhere around you, but you gotta find a way to like make it less harsh for you. And maybe we're gonna talk about this later on while we watch these videos.
What's like a typical weekend look like for you?
Like go to a music festival or like an EDM or house show.
Yeah, them kids, right?
Yeah, like screw them kids. I mean, we don't know her age, so probably maybe. Although she said she early 20s, she started having fun. But yeah, like these opinions, they can change every year. Like when you're 21, you want kids. When you're 22, you suddenly meet someone and you don't want. And when you're 23, you want them again. So it's always a complicated also thing to talk about.
Do you want kids?
I think it's very selfish. Looking at the world and how it is right now, global warming and all that kind of stuff, I am not sure if
Oh yeah, global warming is the biggest problem that we have right now.
I want this environment to my kids.
The climate, you know, like climate change and everything, that has obviously gotten worse over our generation. So
You just said that everything is good for you. You're having so much fun. Everything's great. Like, what's the problem of giving the kid, like, no, I honestly don't. Okay, this is the first one where I'm gonna argue. When you say that this is a bad environment for them, yet at the same time, you're telling how fun it is for you, how happy you are because you can enjoy life. Okay, here I get confused. Like, so is it also your problem? Then in that case, like, I want to hear, because you were just sounding so happy and fun and saying like, kids, maybe you need those kids to actually fix those problems, you know, because like this process of climate change that we've lived from when we were born and we were raised, it was one thing, and then when the kids are going to get born, they're going to be born in a whole new atmosphere where they're going to have to find solutions from there, so they haven't witnessed the point prior. I know I'm making it too complicated, but this is the first fact that I'm gonna argue. Stop putting this environment idea and stuff like this when you talk about the kid. Especially the kid. The kid is a person who's gonna live up till it's like 80. I mean, you plan that your kid is not gonna be like 10, 20. You plan that your kid is gonna grow a big person. Oh my god, not a big person. Like, gonna be older, gonna be an adult also. And you know, 1 year is a huge difference. I just said it like 3 minutes ago. 1 year is a very big difference. Now imagine 5. Now imagine 10, 20. So yeah, don't bring environment into this.
problems we're facing nowadays aren't really the same that people were facing decades ago.
Because for the
Yes, and problems that your kids are going to face aren't the same as you. But those advantages that even our generation has, or like her generation has, is also different compared to people prior. Why am I so analyzing along this video?
first time in history, people are questioning if it's even morally okay to have children.
Climate change.
Okay, morally okay? 23% of young people say climate change impacts their decision to become a parent. Every fifth person, okay, let's even say they took the survey on NBC, and NBC is very popular. Every fifth person questions because of climate changes? Well, let me hear most of them. Like, we heard one point, but like maybe there are others. I mean,
Change is a big factor in why she's not having children.
We're not sure that we're going to have kids because we don't want to bring our kids into a world like this.
It is not okay to have children.
The lives of children are going to be very difficult.
The lives of people have always been difficult. You see, this is where I struggle with the child-free movement. Lives of people are always going to be difficult. But you know how people survive through years? Correct. New people were born. This is super simple. New people were born and they survived and they did stuff, they faced their problems and they got their rewards. And then another generation came and it did the same thing. And then another generation came and another. So, talking about how you don't want a person to face problems, I mean, I'm gonna switch it in another way. Why don't you want that person to get all the goods it get from being alive, living the life? Sorry, my view may be split into two frames because here I'm checking the chat, here I'm checking the video, and the camera mine is here. Well, let us listen.
Impacting everyone. The number of babies being born is inching closer and closer to 2.1 per woman, which is
This is actually what I said at the beginning of the video. Like, look at the countries that they are gonna survey now.
replacement number that prevents the population from
The number of births per woman needed to maintain the population size. Yeah, that's true. Because you have a woman and a man who can make a child. And basically, for each of them, you need at least two human beings. And you add this 0.1 to actually be, to like have an extra, you know? The report finds that by 2050 is expected to be 2.2 births per woman, down from 2.5 today. 2.2, I'm gonna be older, but yeah, if it goes down, like, I don't believe that it's actually, it might go till this, but I can't believe it's gonna go less than 2.1, honestly, because needed to maintain the population size, like, people are not going to go down. No, I just don't believe it.
Shrinking. For the first time ever, there are more women without children at 30 than there are women with children.
So in short, people ain't having sex.
Wait, did he just say that there are more people who more women that don't have children, right?
Ever, there are more women without children at 30 than there are women with children.
So in short,
more women. How is no, stop it. Like, I haven't read internet for a while. How can it be 30? 30? No, that's like too much. More women after 30 have than don't have. No, more women don't have than they have.
or people ain't having sex. With some countries already facing the consequences,
This is just the one example. Remember what happened with China back when they had this one-child law? Crisis. Because you're interfering in the nature.
must question the social implications of an increasingly isolated society. But is this all legit or just fear-mongering? Is the world even heading towards collapse or overpopulation, or both at the same time? As a matter of fact, do I even see myself starting a family? Like, I deadass still live out of a fucking suitcase. I guess we gon' see.
Yeah, I mean, I also have just one cupboard where I stuff all my things, but it doesn't, like, nobody's talking about, like, having immediately you turn 18, you go do it, bang, one child, second child. No, you're talking about, like, the perspective future. So in a perspective future, you throughout your life should have, like, children. Yeah, you should have, like, 2.1, they said. Yeah, so 2.1 per woman, at least. Oh, late at night. 2 hours to the NFL draft. I'm very curious who's gonna be the first round pick, and then I'll probably go to bed because my team is picking last. So,
And starting with America. America has declining birth rates. Why do you think this is happening?
In our parents' generation, most people got married younger, with women being caretaker, like cooking, watching your children, like being a stay-at-home mom, like that was your job. Now, cheap days, it's like women like to work. To be a stay-at-home mom, like you have to have money.
Honestly, everything was cheaper back then. You could get a house for much cheaper. Everything.
but doesn't a stay-at-home mom get provided by the dad? Because she didn't tackle the issue of divorces or stuff like this.
Was just more affordable, but also I feel like a lot of people in this generation are trying to be successful on their own and creating these startups, which you really don't have time to take care of a baby.
The declining of births.
That's sad. I mean, you should plan to do everything. We know that a day only has 24 hours, so that a day is very short, but an hour or two just in addition to one thing or another. That shouldn't be that hard.
Breaks is people planning more their lives, their future, and their family life.
Why do you think?
Wait, if they are planning, why can't they plan with a family? Like, if it's an argument, they should probably plan a family, right? You're so good. So by 25 I achieved this, by 27 I got this, by 30 I get married, and then after 30 I get like my children. I know nature doesn't work like this, but if you want to use planning as argument, this is your argument.
I think this is happening to our country.
People are dying. I don't know. I went to dark places. I'm sorry, but I mean, like, I think.
Yeah, so at the beginning she was just playing fun, but like it's such a stupid even joke if you think about it. Why is the birth rating getting down? Because people are dying.
People are maybe more career focused, like people are getting kids when they're older.
People are realizing, like, I have a future to have before I even have a family. I'm saving till I actually finish my goal, and then I'll have kids after that.
Yeah, and this is like, this questions me, how did people combine that? Because in the past, like, you can't say there were less successful people than there are now. But they combined somehow. Like, what? I'm trying to understand what became the problem of combining nowadays. Why should you put everything aside? And okay, technically, just technically, I can understand for a woman. But again, you know that's what scientists prove, that it's actually for a woman, there's another thing. For her, it's way more healthier to give her first birth before before she's 25. But okay, let's even take that fact aside. Let's consider the fact that okay, maybe she's expecting, but for a guy, like what? How can he not combine it? I just don't see it. I'm sorry.
You know, be able to be financially stable enough to where my family is not suffering.
It's interesting too because it's not just America, but a lot of developed nations. Do you think then this is a sign of societal decline?
Absolutely, and we should be very alarmed.
Definitely, and good for us. I think some destruction is necessary for like things to grow into new places.
There's a lot of people who just want to go.
Did you just listen to her argument? Some destruction is good for that to go big. But therefore, so we're not bringing children in it because to make destruction, so then everything will go well. Or like, what's the argument then? You don't need destruction in order to get better. You know why? Because life is consistently in destruction. And you need to find a way to make it a less destruction. Because there are always going to be tiny problems from the left and right. But it's your problem to avoid them here, avoid them there, and set everything good. Yeah.
Go out and have fun, experience their lives. Parents will say, hey, don't have kids at my age. Go out and have fun.
In order to provide a good life to your kids, it's expensive nowadays.
Do you think in America we're prioritizing?
Yeah, it wasn't expensive, you want to tell me, back in the days. You want to tell me it wasn't expensive back in the days? Seriously, to provide a stable life. Nobody's telling you, like, I don't understand. What is your goal? To make your child wake up in a flying jet and get taken in school, I don't know, by a rocket and have 300 servants? Like, what is this argument? We want a better life. Yeah, we want a better life. How much? How much can any of you get a better life? Because you know why a better life is a bad argument? Because they're always better. There's always someone or something that can be better.
Prioritizing more about getting the bag rather than building like a strong family unit.
For some people, you got to get the bag first to build a strong family unit. For what some people want for their family, like.
Why isn't anyone here answering what's the size of the bag? everyone's just saying, oh yeah, I have to take a bag, I have to get this. Is there like a list where I can know what I have to click when I check it? Come on, people. Give me something new. Give me another argument.
You gotta be making money to have that.
It seems like the
How many money? That's the thing that I'm asking. Okay, so for let's say you're a Native American. Okay, how much money is enough? You know what's the problem? Most will disagree because someone's gonna say 50,000, somebody's gonna say 100,000, somebody's gonna say 2 million because he's gonna only spend 1 million on his child. His child's gonna have the best diapers. His child's gonna have the best schools. That's the problem. That's the problem that I have with people who are saying you have to first concentrate on giving it for the future. But there's no giving to the future. You know, the first rule that I always say to myself, do and think what you're doing. And this rule includes 3 do's and 1 think. You know why? Because you can think for it as long as you want. But if you don't do anything about it, it's just going to be a thought.
The cost of having kids is a big factor. But hasn't this always been the case even during our parents' generation? Why do you think this is happening where my generation, like Gen Z and millennials, are having kids a lot later in life?
People are preferring to live their own lives, some selfish lives, with no kids, with no problems, with more money to spend with themselves.
I think that you're exposed to a lot more of what's going on.
Having kids means taking away from my freedom. What would you say to that as someone who's
taking my freedom? I'm wondering what was the factor of social media for all these people. Like I definitely can bet that social media played its part on the number of people who don't want kids nowadays. I genuinely believe this is like a very important factor and it should be tackled in some video. Maybe I will tackle it sometime.
Been a mother.
Oh, it definitely takes away from your freedom.
So did you ever regret it during that process?
No, I found it difficult at times. And sometimes, you know, you would daydream and like wonder like, ooh, what would life be like? But then there's like your kid, man. Like I have massive love for my girls.
So for that.
Yeah, what I definitely have heard from every single parent is that the moment you just see that kid, your kid, when you take it inside into your hands, when you take it into your hands, this is the best thing that could have happened to you. And it's sometimes so difficult for me to understand, like, 1 sec. I want you to see my full face because it's sometimes so difficult to understand why do people oh my god, I have to rephrase it again. So what I mean by I have never met a single person who has said that, who has had a kid and never told me about the moment that they grabbed the kid and they regretted it. Like, never have I ever. Everyone who talks about like this first little baby, they're talking about one of the best moments in their lives. And the thing is that those people who want fun and want the best in their lives, who want to be happy, they're taking away one of the most happiest moments in their lives. Intentionally taking away the most happiest moments in their lives. And like the only thing that that they don't understand is that the happiest moment requires the hardest work. And it's a hard work to raise a child. It's a hard work to give this child a life, to provide for it, to combine your time with it. But it pays off with those happy moments.
Them, it's like being in person, or is like us, like social media, like Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We can connect more easily.
Do you think we're more connected though?
I think.
Actually, good question. Are we more connected? Is it easier for me to text someone? Yes. Are we more connected though? Are we more connected? Press ask to exit full screen. This is gonna be such a funny stream. Okay, I just turned in subtitles. I don't need subtitles. Nah, sorry, people. I can get this without them. Yeah.
I think that
maybe just like access to technology has just shown us like how much more there is out there.
And look, it seems paradoxical, but is this infinite access to potential options and technology the direct contributor to our falling birth rates?
I don't believe.
When you're single, everyone's always like, hey, get on a dating app.
What's my #1 opening line on Tinder?
With a click of a button, dating app.
I'm so stupid because I thought when they were talking about Tinder, I thought they were talking about LinkedIn. And I was like, why is LinkedIn included into this?
Apps presents you a pool of potential partners with an algorithm built to keep you addicted to the promise of finding the one.
I just feel like that she's the one, you know what I'm saying? I FaceTime her a lot, her personality really matched who I am.
Even with the seemingly equal and never before seen opportunity to find love while taking a shit, outcomes have been far from equal. What they
Guys, unless this is another important topic of our lives, that guys, like, only the one guys get spotted so much less than women. I remember I tried this one app, like even when going on, like, just for fun, I remember, and I just put some random stuff about me, like, I won't say even the name of that app, but I got like 0 reviews in like couple of months. I didn't care, honestly. Like, I felt bad, like, damn, I didn't get anything. But yeah, it was just for fun.
They found with the Tinder economy is that the bottom 80% of men in terms of attractiveness are competing for the bottom 22% of women. And
logically, yeah, because women will always get attention and men won't.
Top 78% of women are competing for the top 20% of men. And so for those at the top with
Exactly. You know, this is why actually in Tinder, yeah, you always have a lot of these guys going to this one woman. These Tinder videos. I think that it would be a good reaction watching one of these. Drop some good comments if you believe it.
options, there's a paradox of choice in dating where people are always searching to avoid committing to one person in fear of losing out on someone even better out there. Whereas for most men, it's a different reality.
Over the last decade, the number of men reporting no sex in the last year has tripled.
Compared to past generations who were getting jobs, having sex, getting married, and then having kids earlier, almost 1/3 of men under 30 today haven't had sex in the last year or haven't had sex at all. And with the rise of AI, not only is there genuine fear that automation will start replacing people's jobs, from truck drivers to even lawyers, it may even start replacing human companionship.
The whole point of a
What? Whoa. Slow that down, man. Slow that down. I'm asking you to slow that down. What exactly did he just say? A robot is gonna slow down a human? Like, a robot's gonna replace a human? Nah, this is too crazy. This is too much to take into me. Like, I don't know. It's super complicated. How does it work? Why? Let him just explain. I'm just gonna be sitting here for the next minutes, like, doing why.
Is that you can have a relationship with it.
I stopped seeing her as a niece and more as not a person, of course, but something more.
And so, are we raising a generation of...
I would say as what, but I think I'm gonna like, I don't know how these Twitch rules are working. Everyone, oh my goodness, I'm watching this stream and I just realized that you don't see anything. Oh my goodness, wait 1 second. Yeah, zynoVII, welcome to Twitch. You should always switch between your reaction and the other part. Yeah, I think now we can do it. Is it? Yeah, I think it's fine now.
And with the rise of AI, not only is there genuine fear that automation will start replacing people's jobs, from truck drivers to even lawyers.
I can't
it
imagine
may even
lawyers.
start replacing human companionship.
The whole point of a robot is that you can have a relationship with it.
I stopped seeing her as a niece and more as a, not a person, of course, but something more.
And so, are we raising a generation of men who are risk averse and not developing the competencies required for adult responsibilities like starting a family?
I saw you, and I thought you were. And I was wondering if I could get your. No, forget it. Yeah.
Because are we at a point where adolescence is becoming an extension of childhood rather than the beginning of adulthood? Shut up, bro. Come on, I'm grown. And so it's important to.
Yeah, this channel actually does it good. He's like a detective, as I understand. So it's interesting. He doesn't just go straight down there. Street interviews that are just straight ahead, that are also good, but you sometimes need to know this mystery.
Consider that for every action, there's always an equal and opposite reaction. And so, how is all this impacting women and ultimately the future of our population? Bad thing. People look down on being a mom today. The reason why I asked this is because you even prefaced this saying that you want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's like a bad thing.
To be a stay-at-home mom, like, you have to have money. Unless your one partner is able to pull for the both of you and your family, like, you cannot be a stay-at-home mom.
I think a lot of people like.
True, but you know, people somehow managed to do stuff before, and people do still manage to do stuff right now. There's actually a lot of stay-at-home moms even nowadays.
Glamorize motherhood, but then I think a lot of people have started dissing people who are mothers or who embrace motherhood. I don't know.
Yeah, this is like super weird. They go like, there's nothing bad to be a stay-at-home mom. This is actually one of the hardest jobs to do. To take care of everything, the house, the cleaning, the cooking. This is super hard. And you have to do it every day permanently. It has to be stable work. This is hard work, ladies and gentlemen. And there's nothing you can do to disrespect. Like, you can't disrespect moms. And also stay-at-home moms.
I've been seeing like a lot of TikToks of people who once they have children.
Wait. I just want to watch those TikToks also, because I want to read the text.
And I think a lot of people have started dissing people who are mothers or who embrace motherhood. I don't know. I've been seeing like a lot of TikToks of people who want.
Before baby came, kids ruining our marriage, trend and spilling the mom talk tea. What?
Once they have children, it causes like stress in the marriage.
Your marriage is more impactful than your what?
I don't know if you are on TikTok, but there's a whole thing with like the girl with like the list of like reasons why you should not have kids.
And this TikTok list by unique.
Let's listen to the list.
Thoughts is a compilation of about
everyone asking me if I ever have kids.
Over 350 reasons to never have a child.
I know what we are gonna watch the next time. So I'm gonna search this video out. I'm gonna read every single argument and we're gonna discuss it. This is the plan for next time. I mean, I know this video came up 10 days ago and when you're watching it's 11, but and even this TikTok was so much farther, but like your hoo-ha can turn green blue. Like I'm just read like this little reason 84. That might be fun.
She compiles TikToks from various accounts and adds them to her list of reasons ranging.
They can help your partner get away with cheating. Again.
From baby parasite to uterine trauma. And based on its engagements, videos have become pretty damn popular, but it does make you think, does it reflect the popular trend nowadays to bash pregnancies and to encourage women to reject motherhood?
I've also seen like a lot of people in like the public space that choose to not have kids, so it's kind of like I have a role model of women who don't.
Just to point out, this guy is driving like this lime, and this YouTuber standing 10 seconds from it. Like, you know, just sometimes you imagine like you're walking just by and you see, oh damn, that like you were so close to like a YouTuber. I know this because I had, when I filmed videos, sometimes challenges, and my channel isn't that big actually, but I know there are like kids, when they see a camera, they just run into it and they have to say something like the video, subscribe to the channel, yeah, 1 2, let's go.
Don't want the same outcome of their life that has just been kind of just like a generational thing.
We learn a lot of things nowadays based off like social media, what people will decide to
Learn from something.
share.
Having children isn't always like the best option for everyone, and I think people are just starting to realize that.
And in developed countries with greater access to education and birth control, there tend to be lower
Yeah. Ukraine only 186.
fertility and birth rates. And along with it, a shift where women now have the opportunity to prioritize their own careers and goals, unlike in underdeveloped countries where family and children are the traditional focus. And with
Yeah, because in undeveloped countries they just don't have that opportunity. I mean, they all say that, oh yeah, we're all for traditional values, etc. I would see how many of you would actually think about the culture and tradition when you were as developed as, for instance, United States or Central Europe.
that, it made me consider another perspective. Do you feel like the societal pressure to have kids is unfair?
I live in the LA bubble where a lot of people are doing similar things to what I'm doing. They're
Yeah, she's from LA. People like there, woman, you're fine. No pressure, you know. When I play Football Manager, I have this scream that encourages players, and one of them is like, no pressure, or fire up, or encourage. Hers is definitely no pressure.
focusing on their career.
I'm curious, like in your immediate circle, how many of them have kids?
Oh, none.
Luckily, like all my family are just
How
like,
old
they
is
know
she?
I'm going for my goals and they're not pressuring me, which is great. But I know some people get pressured.
I feel like women are kind of seen as like that's your job, that's your responsibility, and I think a lot.
But why only women? Why only women? What about the men? Aren't men pressured too? Like, the only reason why they say this is because a man, he can have 5 children, or he can have 0 children. He will look in details like differently, agreed. But when he walks to that job, he ain't gonna like be change. Like, he ain't gonna change. He's like the same Tony that you knew yesterday. For a woman, yes, because when you see a woman, you kind of think, okay, like, you can assume that she probably doesn't have in more ways, in some ways, than rather that she has. But men also get pressure. Stop only saying this about women.
A lot of times people forget that like our responsibility is just to kind of enjoy the life that we're living.
Is it a responsibility though? Pick your words correct.
For generations, adult femininity was most correlated with having children, and not having any was putting your individual needs above the country's. Even the Pope recently criticized couples that were having pets over children in response.
Yeah, this is like super weird when a couple decide we don't want to have a child, but we want to have a pet. This is, for me, it's like literal insanity.
To the declining global birth rates.
E tante coppie non hanno dei figli perché non vogliono, ma hanno due cani, due gatti, si toglie umanità.
And so it's evident that both men and women now have different realities, priorities, and access. But is this what's contributing towards population collapse in many countries like America? Because for some countries, is it already too late?
Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has warned that the declining birth rate is putting the future of the country at risk.
Japan has been facing low birth rates and an aging population for several decades now, where in the past year, the number of deaths in the country has reached twice the number of births.
People have many competing priorities to weigh children against.
The Prime Minister has even issued a warning that Japan is on the brink of not being able to maintain social functions, and that the country cannot wait any longer to solve problems.
Immigration. Sorry, this is like one of the ways you can solve it, through immigration, through inviting and encouraging immigrants to come and work for you, like from different parts of the planet. Because if it's going that downhill as they just showed, you need a solution right here and right now, because otherwise it can go way harder.
It's not just Japan.
South Korea is facing a population crisis.
Italy's decreasing population is the most pressing issue that needs to be addressed.
Many developed countries are even providing financial incentives for couples to have more children. It's to a point where even China, the world's most populated country, is now experiencing population decline caused by the impact of their one-child policy that was implemented to control overpopulation.
I said it at the very beginning of the stream of this video.
China did have a one-child policy, but about 10 years ago, they changed it to a two-child policy. Then a few years ago, they changed it to a three-child policy. China's birth rate right now is 40% below replacement.
And with the economic impact that could result if low birth rates continue in these large economies, it becomes apparent why even traditionally isolationist countries like Japan are considering opening up their borders. And so I wanted to ask...
Yeah, I just said about immigration. We're on the same path with him. I'm good.
Ask a Brazilian immigrant in America about immigration. People point to immigration as a solution when societies are having less kids. But do you think that also leads to further societal issues? Do you think that it brings more?
What I believe is that, as I said at the beginning, life consists out of problems. But you need to pick which one would you rather suffer. Would you rather suffer the collapse of population or social problems? And I'm not blaming those who picked the first one. I'm not blaming those who picked the second one, because it is a tough question. You're not picking out of the best choice. You're picking between the bad and the worse. Unfortunately.
More of a benefit or more of a detriment?
I think it brings both. Once they bring a lot of people from all over the world, they would need to reorganize themselves and respect their own laws and their own culture. But in a certain point, I do believe that immigration could be the problem to solve, and also family planning. It's crazy still that you see a family that is poor having 5 kids.
And so then, what's happening in these less developed countries? Underdeveloped countries like Angola and Chad have birth rates as high as 8 per woman in younger populations. But as a country gets richer, birth rates decline. Nigeria is a prime example. As their economy grew to the largest in Africa, its birth rates decreased. Not only does a growing economy change access to education and family planning, but also affords opportunities to shift attitudes towards marriage and family. And so there's a tricky balance between having enough money to have kids and a general decline in desire to have kids as wealth increases. What does this tell us about society and what we truly value? Because when we look at these trends, what does it say about our priorities? Often, it's only in hindsight when we can realize what we truly value. Do you think you'll regret it?
Maybe I would have thought things through more before having children versus people who don't have them. I feel like they less of the time regret not having.
No, because honestly, in the past I've thought about it. And I also have a brother, talking to him about stuff, and we're just I think that it'd be okay if we did not. You know what I mean? I feel like the world would be okay.
Yeah, I think it's something that naturally I'd want if I had more time. If I could still have kids at 60, 70, which maybe you might. I mean, there's probably women out there. In general, I'm just thinking I'm probably gonna time out.
Would you be really sad if you didn't have kids?
Yes, I feel like I would. As a nanny, I feel like I've been around them for so long, so if I didn't have them, I would be kind of...
A nanny.
I'm just hoping that I won't regret it, but I could also see how maybe when I become older, not having someone that's forced to take care of me.
I mean, because we changed a lot, right? I'm guessing you, when you started college, is a lot different than you are who you are today, right?
Totally, yes.
Because I've also seen how my desire for wanting kids have changed as I've entered my mid-20s. Because for a long time, I didn't want kids. And call it getting older, but the biggest shift was how I started to view relationships. The Harvard study of adult development is the longest running study on happiness. And since 1938, it has...
Harvard language was started in 1938, 724 young men, age 19, 47, okay, yeah.
Tracked 268 initial participants and even their children's lives and well-being to see what made people happy. And what the study consistently found was that it wasn't money or status or the shiny car, but strong relationships with family, friends, and romantic partners that was crucial not only for happiness, but for health and even resiliency.
That's what I said from the very beginning. You have... Where do you stop when you say that you need to get the bag? Where do you stop when you say that, okay, this is a problematical environment, but we're gonna put it in a better one? The answer is you don't know. And it's gonna change. And it's gonna change in one way or another. It may be better, maybe worse. But this is not the key goal to children. Oh my god, wait, I pressed too much.
Relationships keep us happier and healthier.
So it made me think, does Western society's emphasis on individualism and personal achievement actually make us happier? Or is the neglect of the family unit and values and disregard for others exactly what's making our lives more challenging? Do you think like having kids is a key to having like a fulfilled life?
Well, having kids is very, very good. I love my kids. I love having kids. The first baby, when I was 18 years old, was a very difficult parenthood. You can imagine how a kid going to college experiencing a life of paternity. And
He's got an Eastern European
I
accent.
think it's key to happiness. Like I said, they're going to be a
Eastern
little fun.
European
They're going to be
and
annoying,
this
of course. They're kids. I know I was annoying.
I was annoying too.
I don't think it's for everyone. It's a hard job, and so for some people, yes. But for some people, absolutely not.
Do you regret not having more kids?
No. Had a perfect 2 girls, yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what we often fail to see is that the solution is in the nuance. Just like the example of overpopulation versus the risk of collapse, it's only when we finally recognize the negative consequences of prioritizing one side over the other is when we can finally understand that 2 opposing things can coexist. And just like how I used to think that having a family would detract from my lifelong goals like building a media company, I now realize that it can actually be my biggest motivator to achieve that and even more. And it's when we decide to fearlessly navigate through the nuances of life to find what truly matters to us. That's what I call exploring the unfamiliar. And with that, thanks for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content where I turn street interviews into investigative journalism. And if YouTube gets it right, you'll like this video too.
Good job, Jen. Yeah, you can go check his channel. I mean, I'm definitely gonna check more of his videos. Probably not today, but like in some other time. So people, it took a very long reaction to this one, but I think I can at least congratulate myself on doing this. It's a hard thing to watch a video and react on it. I watched it for like, okay, let's even take away, I don't know how, 40 minutes I've been reacting to it. In any case, for those watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and you can ring the bell if you want to get notified when the videos are up. Also, I'm going to tell you that if you didn't like this video, you can dislike it. There's no problem with disliking it, but one condition: you have to comment below why. Because I want to be better. I want to be a better YouTuber. I want to be a better streamer. I want to realize where I screwed up. And in order for me to do it, I need your feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you till the next reaction, I guess.